Hello, everyone. My name's Mark Sullivan. I'm the account executive with VitalSource, covering the Southeast for VitalSource. And perhaps some of you know who we are. I was just speaking with a UF dental professor. We started actually 20 years ago with dental schools. Probably that's where the name VitalSource came from. It's a quirky name, but it's talking about the vital content and the different sources of material that students need in their courses. VitalSource started as a download, unlike so many of the other e-readers and other platforms out there. But we started as a download about 20 years ago and have since evolved into a learning technology company, hopefully with many of those same great features that Dale Johnson was speaking about and that the rest of us know that students need, which are adaptive, personalized learning. It's one piece, one layer of what we're constantly building and adding in VitalSource, and let me tell you a little bit more about that. So, vision statement: improving learning experience by making it easier to create, deliver effective and affordable content. And I will talk more about that. But here's, I guess, sort of our brag sheet and or history of what we've been doing in those 20 years that I mentioned. Billions and billions of pages out there delivered by VitalSource. VitalSource is a digital learning platform, so we're not content. We can be if you need us to help you develop something, but we are the platform. We have close to 700 publishers that we work with. All of the publishers, hopefully all of them, on your book list are going to be a VitalSource partner. And their content is one of more than 500,000 titles that we have. So what we do is work with schools. We pretty much started like I said, in the dental world, health sciences, but then we quickly evolved in terms of volume into the for-profit market. And all of the for-profit names that I don't even need to mention to you, they're the ones who developed pretty much this model of tuition inclusive, all access, inclusive access, digital direct access. These are the different terms that you hear that describe what VitalSource is part of, and it really is including the learning materials at the least cost to the students on day one. That's done through the school's learning management system, and then it is launched out and delivered within the VitalSource eText digital platform. So I won't, of course, read all that, but it's powering learning through technology. So we're that piece between the learning management system and then we're the platform that goes directly to the student delivering the content. So the different pieces of VitalSource, the main one that some of you may be familiar with, and that would be the Learn piece, which the Learn piece is really delivering that same content that I talk about in VitalSource Bookshelf. It is, that is our platform name, VitalSource Bookshelf, but in addition to that, there's the integration piece. It's not good enough. You can be a student and have a one-off purchase of an e-text or content in VitalSource Bookshelf, and that would be just a one-off purchase. The institutional purchases and initiatives that I know are UF is considering expanding on that. Many of our other partners over the years, and not just the for-profit schools, approach that in an institutional manner, but we also have the ability for a student just to do a one-off bookshelf purchase of any content, whether it's publisher content, open access content, your own original content. But then those are the other pieces too, how you would create content. We know that that's a key piece for all of you. We know that you need to manage it and manage the collection of contents. That would be our Bridge and Connect piece. The integration, as I mentioned, with learning management system. And then another key piece that Dale and others were talking about today is analytics, student usage data. You need to know something more than, okay, the student has the book on day one of class. How are they doing? What have they done so far? Have they done anything so far? These are the different things that VitalSource is doing. And one of the other pieces within, I guess I would put it within our analytics piece, is we are working with Cerigo, which is renamed for us as Bookshelf GPS, guided personalized success. So it's the personalized adaptive learning piece that you take content either pre-made, or you can develop that same content and create those adaptive learning lessons, modules that you've all been speaking about, that this whole conference is all about. So getting back to the motivation for the most affordable content on day one of class. We know that there's a big problem out there. We know that students are either delaying or avoiding even purchasing the content, and we know that they'd get better grades. This is from them if they had the content. So with the VitalSource Access approach to things, which again is your Follett bookstore here at UF calls it Include Ed or All Access, but it is these three key pieces: affordable content, day one, and then within Florida, and that should be changed out to student opt-in, LMS integration, add drop periods are easily managed by what VitalSource does. So we're not changing any of the processes that you all, as faculty, would go through. The faculty still are still choosing their materials the same way, whether it's publisher content or it is original materials or open access. And then I was at USF last week just showing them the student logs into their course within their Canvas system, learning management, and then they click on the book link, and then they launch out. They're off to the races. That would be the very first experience the student would have. Just click on a link. They're in the online environment for whatever content that is. This is a book. I'm not sure if that's a Pearson or Cengage text, but and then that wonderful magic of the book being available to the student. And what is great, I think, and I'm told this by the customers that we talk to, or potential customers, we are one platform for hundreds and hundreds of publishers, original material, open access material, so the student experience is the same. There's still other publisher technology out there that is a different interface for the student, but at least in terms of the e-text that the publishers produce, they will all be on a student library, and the student would interact with that material the same way. So not 700 different approaches to it, depending on the publisher. And then there's a little bit more about, you can brand the opt-in. We work with schools on whatever their approach is. EPUB, as we know, that's going to allow the best interactive, engaging ways for students to work with the content. It's not just a PDF. You can see that little shrinking child is now being viewed probably on a phone as opposed to a laptop, but this is what EPUB technology allows for. And in addition to being very highly rated with accessibility, and that's a good accessibility feature, a key feature, we are also well regarded in the accessibility areas, largely because of not because of EPUB, but EPUB is able to be used in the VitalSource system. We're not just an e-reader that throws up a PDF. So that's a lot of what I really wanted to mention. Bookshelf is the learn aspect of those 5 different facets of what VitalSource offers. But please go ahead. I'm not sure how much time I have left, but fire away with any questions and or come to my little table in the corner here. Yes, ma'am. So it can work in all ways, depending on how you want it. There's the opportunity for one-off student purchase. You could go to the bookstore. You could buy a code there. You could go to the VitalSource.com site and buy a single unit there. But the key to this piece of VitalSource Access, or all access, inclusive access, is an institutional purchase where the school is saying to a publisher, we are going to give you these courses. Well, here's your book list. We're already using these books, and we will give you close to 100% enrollment, depending on the opt-in rate. And the publisher, in turn, gives you very, very favorable rates, 50 to 75% off in many cases. And then that fee the student would agree to when they opt in, and then that would be charged to the student account. So that institutional approach that I just described is very different pricing than what the student would experience if they just went to the VitalSource site and bought the exact same book. It is a single user. We do not offer licenses, no. Well, the publishers, you would have to talk with them about it. We're not the content. Anyone else? Okay. Hope to see you at the table once you think of your questions. Thank you very much.